So here's a quick video about how to make a schedule. So first off, so you'd open up the Celebright app, then connect to the controller that you want to connect to. Most of you are just going to have one controller. I have multiple ones, but so we're going to connect to this sample controller I have. So the connect button, and then when you come in, it's generally going to take you to this. So this is the My Scenes. So this is all the scenes. You're probably very familiar with this that you have saved. I have definitely a few saved, but here's all my scenes. So the first thing is whatever you want, whatever scene you want in your event to run has to be saved into My Scenes first. So as long as that's there, then you go to your events, and then assuming you don't have an event yet and you want to create a new one, you hit the plus sign, new event, and then here's kind of where you set up the details of it. So the first thing you do is you have to give it a name. So we're just going to say test event, and then the date you want it to start. So we'll say we want it to start today. The time you want it to start, so you can give it a specific time that it starts, or you can do dawn or dusk. So dawn is obviously usually for turning off. Dusk could be turning on, so we'll just do dusk. And if you hit dusk, that's going to set it to follow the sunset time for the location that you're at. So it automatically adjusts throughout the year. So say it turns on at dusk, and hit OK. And then end time, so whatever end time you want it. So it's defaulting to 10 p.m., but if you wanted that to be different, you could do like 11 p.m. So when you go into there, it's all going to automatically default to what time it is now. So it's in the AM right now as I'm recording this. So I'd have to set it to PM, so 11 p.m. So test event starts today, starts at dusk, turns off at 11 p.m. Next thing is select the scene. So it's going to automatically default to the first scene in your scene list. So if you want a different one, whatever you want it to be, we'll say we want it to be Celebright, doesn't matter. So it's not going to run that Celebright scene. Priority is a medium priority, and what that is if you have multiple events that are scheduled for the same time, it's going to run the one that's set with the highest priority. So if you want this to be the highest priority scene over everything else, you can set to high. If you want it to be a lower priority, you can set to low, or you can just leave where it's at. And then here's the most important thing. It defaults to does not repeat. So if I just created this event right now, it would run today one time and be done. It wouldn't run again tomorrow night. If you want this to run every day, you got to click on this does not repeat and set it to how often you want to repeat. So say we want this to run every day. We'll click daily, and then every 1 day. So every day it's going to run, and it never ends. So it's just going to run every day forever. And then hit apply. And then create the event. So now you have this event already, and I already had a daily night in there. I had a daily morning in there. So those are already still in there. And then it's not showing up here just because of the way I'm doing iPhone mirroring. For some reason, that creates a little bit of a glitch. But here's that. If I go to a list instead of the calendar, here's that test event. Now, if you ever want to change the scene on that, you go back to that event or edit anything. You want to adjust the time on that. Change the scene, change if it want to repeat, just go back to it, hit edit, and now instead of being the Celebrate scene, I want it to be patriotic scene, because that it's coming up on that time of the year. So now I set it for Independence Day, and just update event. So now it's going to run same thing every day at dusk. Turn off at 11 o'clock. Now it's starting to run that Independence Day scene. So that's the easiest way to just adjust the scene that's playing. If you want it still to run every day, everything else to stay the same, you don't have to delete it and create a new one. Just adjust the scene, and I can close this. So now it's going to run that. So that's how you set up a schedule, or what we call an event, and that's how you set it to run every day. All right, thanks.